Hey, Liam Ward here at LearnTheHarmonica.com. Welcome to Blues Harmonica for Beginners, Lesson 4. Today we are talking all about bending. Now this is a technique you cannot get away with avoiding if you want to be a blues harmonica player. You just have to know it, it's crucial. If you'd like to learn loads more techniques, 10 original songs that I've written especially for beginners, and all sorts of textures and fantastic stuff, then check out my step-by-step course. There's a link in the description beneath this video. I'm also selling a set of backing tracks for all different types of blues grooves as well. There's a link to that. But in today's lesson, we're going to talk about bending. So what is bending first off? Well, you heard me do it in the little clip at the start of the video. And what it is where we change the pitch of a note. So that means the natural note of the harmonica is distorted. We actually bend that note out of tune and it gives a kind of really nice sound to what we're playing. And it's so important with the blues. So consider the difference between these two lines. First off, okay, fine, but what about if we go, suddenly it's got more kind of life to it. And the only difference, apart from a bit of vibrato on that last note, is that I'm actually adding some little scoops, some little bends into those notes. And it kind of gives it a lot more character. So how do we actually do this? Well, it's all down to the mechanics of what's happening in here. So when you play a normal note, you're supposed to be nice, relaxed, let the air just come in and out. And you might have noticed sometimes that if you're tense, or if your positioning is different, or if your tongue is in a different position, then the note will actually change its character and maybe even its pitch, the actual tone you're playing. And that is actually a version of a bend. So we need to use those mistakes to our advantage now. We need to hone those skills and learn how to control them. So there's a few things going on. So if we think of our normal mouth shape as a kind of then we can distort that from an to an oo. Ooh. Ooh. Okay? So that's our first thing that we need to do, but it's not the only thing, and it won't in and of itself change the note. We also need to kind of slurp the air a bit, okay? So it's kind of a instead of just relaxed, the air just coming in, we're kind of, and if you want to, turn that into a mechanical kind of movement, then let's think about what the tongue's doing. So if the tongue is just sitting there, that's great, that the air's going to come in and out freely. If you start to kind of pull that back a bit and kind of create a bit of a kind of hill sort of shape, a humped sort of shape, then it's going to change the angle of the air, and that's going to have a different approach when the air comes through the harmonica, okay? So we're going to try that with our tongue. Okay? And the other thing we need to think about is which holes on the harmonica will actually bend. So we're going to start on a 4 draw. Certain holes will bend, certain won't. So let's start with our 4 draw. So without a bend. Now if I think of that to oo, and I think of that pulling back my tongue, kind of humping that up, and I think of kind of slurping the air, hopefully that note will start to bend. Okay, and that is the sound of a bend on your harmonica. Now don't worry if you haven't got it just then, if you didn't get a bend at all. It doesn't matter, you're not going to necessarily get this straight away. You need to experiment with that change of shape, the change of pressure, and that movement of the tongue, because everyone's anatomy is slightly different. And you need to experiment and trust the sound you're getting. You'll know when you hear that sound, it's a distinctive sound and it's a really noticeable change. So you're listening out for that, and then once you get a bit of a bend like that, you need to work on trying to move that down as far as it will go and then hold it. Okay, just like that. And then if you can learn that muscle memory, memorize that shape, you could then hit that bend itself straight off the bat. Okay, but that's kind of further along the line. So you heard me at the beginning of this video playing along to the backing track, playing the solo we've learnt in the previous lessons in this course, but using a bend, adding a bend onto the 4 draw on lick 1. So what I was doing was starting with a 4 draw natural note and then bending that down. So okay, so if you're getting comfortable with the bends and you're feeling better about them, then let's have a little go at playing that along with the backing track.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Fantastic, really, really well done. So we've got started today on bends. I do have more lessons on bends. I'll put some links in the description if I remember. Let me know if I forget. If you'd like step-by-step lessons on all the important things you'd like to learn as a beginner blues harmonica player, then check out the link in the description to my premium course. There's also a link to some backing tracks that I have for sale, and I look forward to seeing you again for lesson 5 in this series, when we'll be looking at troubleshooting some problems that might have come up as you've been learning these techniques. Please click like and subscribe to my channel for free harmonica lessons every single week. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.